There will be actual murder. I'm gonna text him before I do it so that he doesn't actually fuck up.
If you want, you can plug
I'll just hold it. I'll speaker it. Okay. Or saying hi, and don't be mad at him if he can't. He might be at a con. I don't know. To A D B C. Sean is a pretty cool dude. We have good people. We have really good people that we work with, and we're really lucky. Sean's amazing. Sean and Chris both, I know they do a lot of their conventions together. And so, I know for in a nanosecond they would both come back, because I believe they've both been here. No, man. They're really good guys, both of them. Okay, while we wait to see if he may just be like, girl, I'm on vacation. I have no idea. I have no clue where Sean is right now. Right here.
Hi. First off, want to say I love your work. Thank you for
Thank you.
I play a lot of players. I play those tanks a lot, so I hear it a lot.
Thank you. That's what I'm telling you. I literally gave a rib for that.
My question is, when you first started out with voice acting, when you first found out that, this is exactly what I want to do, how did you prepare, your voice, the acting, what did you do perhaps?
This is a great question. What did I do to prepare I went into this completely okay, sure, I'll get in that booth and do this thing. Nobody had heard of voice acting 20 years ago. This was not a thing anyone knew. So there was no preparing for something we had never heard of. I was working for Disney. We did voices on our show because we thought it was funny. And we were on a spaceship, so we would have aliens come visit our show, and we did all the voices for all the everything. Disney eventually was like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna bring in this guy to train you guys on how to do these voices, because obviously you guys are doing all of this anyway. So they trained the entire staff. The on-air staff, which we were just like, this is neato. And then when I read in the paper, we went to this open call audition, there was no preparing. And we were relying so much on the directors back then. And I will be honest, I was given some poor advice in the beginning about doing Goten's voice, which is actually why it's really difficult for me to do that original voice now, is they would be like, because they just wanted to get us through the series. And so they were like, go and get those little things of lemon juice, the little things you get at the grocery store, and just squirt it in your throat. By the way, guys, never, ever do this to your vocal cords. I cannot tell you the damage, I can tell you the damage that it does to your vocal cords long term, because that's acid. That is straight up acid. And when you're doing something very gravelly, yes, it will help you stay gravelly for 6 to 8 hour sessions, which is what we used to do. They don't do that to voice actors anymore. You never record longer than 4 hours. And I have a 2 hour limit. I will not do anything longer than 2 hours. Because again, it's like we have other jobs. Like, this is our careers now. The advice that they would give us was horrifying. Honestly, whiskey. Everyone always would do, you just need to put a lot of whiskey in your tea with lots of lemon. No, I understand that that's a hot toddy, but that's not good for your voice. Alcohol is the worst thing in the world for your voice. And so you won't see me. If I'm super busy, I'm not a drinker anyway, but a glass of wine with dinner, you're not going to see it. Because I'm like, it is so bad. So we got tons of terrible advice in the beginning. And we've had to just really learn. So there wasn't I wish, and this is why I always tell people, get the vocal training. If you're wanting to do this, I now know how my voice works. I didn't know how it worked back then. And so I could have done more 20 years ago to protect myself. And I'm very lucky, I'm really lucky that I have not had any major damage to my vocal cords. But there are certain places that hold just a tiny little bit of scar. They get a little tougher. It's just like any muscle. If you over-exercise a muscle, it's going to get kind of hard and tough. There are certain places, because of the bad advice I was given early on, that I struggle to get to today. Vocal health, preparing. As far as mentally preparing, again, we didn't know what we were doing. We were just like, this is fun. we're just gonna do voices. Nobody goes.